What's up, everybody? Alrighty, so thank you for joining me tonight. Today, it's exciting for me tonight. I've been wanting to review the cigar for a while. I'm not reviewing. I'm going to be doing an overview on this, the Forbidden X, Opus X Forbidden X. This is the Deseos de Amor, which is it's like 5 1/4 by 50 ring gauge. I've been wanting to smoke the cigar for a while, but like I had mentioned before, sometimes the cigar is the focus and there's things around it that surround it, and I haven't been able to smoke it because I want to make sure it's the right situation, the right circumstance and stuff. And see, like today it's windy. It started getting windy. It's always windy out here. I mean, I'm trying to like wait for the perfect day, and I just figured I'm just gonna do it, because if not, I'm never gonna smoke it. I'm never gonna get to it, and it's just gonna suck. So let's get to it. This one has one of these fancy foot bands here. I'm gonna be taking this off and get into this. It comes with one of these fancy cedar sleeves with the crappy tape around it, but comes right off, so perfect. So I actually just checked this with the humidimeter, and when I checked it at the foot of the cigar, it was 62, and I've been dry boxing for a bit and I thought it was too dry, but I checked it and it was good. And the cap was like 67, so sounds like it's gonna be good. I'm gonna do a straight cut on this one this time. I got these some new cutters here, a gift from my boss. Really open draw. So this cigar so far looks really nice. Now that I took that cedar wrap off, of the cigar, it's a really nice cigar. Very, very smooth. You could see the veins in there, but you always see veins in cigars for the most part. I've always thought the Opus sign was pretty cool, just because the logo's cool, like the rarity part is cool, but I always thought that they were too expensive. I've only smoked one, but I've always thought they were too expensive just because of how much they cost everywhere I've seen them. But then when you see them, MSRP is not that bad. It's not that bad. So the problem with it is just what is the issue is the aftermarket, right? Like the sellers who are selling it after. I was gonna call it black market because I'm used to like the Rolex thing. It's you buy it from the store and it's cheaper than buying it supposedly black market, but it just means you're buying it from somebody who bought it from the original seller, which I don't know if that's what they're doing. If you're a retailer that gets boxes of Opus X, I wonder if you are supposed to, if you're allowed to change the price, or if you have to sell it for that price. You know, like, it's kind of windy out here. Really open draw. So getting a little bit of spice right off the bat. A little bit of spice and a little bit of strength. A ton of smoke production. You can already see the smoke production coming out. That's one of the things that I truly love about a cigar, is the smoke production. If it has really good smoke production or not. Now, this does have a really open draw. Like, the draw is just, it's a little bit too wide for me. I don't like a super tight draw. And the only Opus X that I've smoked before is that Angel Share, and the draw was so tight that it was unenjoyable. But this one's a bit too open. I mean, I guess that's better than the draw being tight though. This cigar so far does have quite a bit of spice. I'm getting a bit of pepper. Not too much, but on the retrohale, a little bit of stinging, but not much. And then a bit of cedar, again, cedar. Well, I don't know, woody. I'm gonna say woody. I did kind of want to treat this one a little bit different just because it's an Opus X, it's that Forbidden X. Just looks cool as hell. The bands on this thing are super sick. Like, just think it's super cool. The burn so far is a tiny bit wonky, right? And that's okay because I'm outside and it's windy. Come on. I'm outside and it's windy and I just lit it and my lighter was being a little bit erratic because of the wind, so not too big of an issue. But if you see how much it's burning off so far, I haven't taken that many draws. I feel like it must be pretty dry. And it's not too dry though, like it's not cracking very bad, and this is usually how I like to smoke my cigars. Yeah, I'm getting a note of cedar as well still, and so far that's kind of all I'm picking up. I'm not really picking up anything too different, right? We'll see if that changes right now. It is a good tasting cigar, but so far I'm not tasting anything that's like, whoa. That Angel Share, when I smoked that one, I remember taking the first draw, it was really good. Second one, and it was like, whoa, this is a good cigar for my taste profile, right? It was like, I got like a sweetness from that cigar, like a fruity note from that cigar. And overall, it was like, I got like a sweetness from that cigar that I really enjoyed. And this one right now, if I closed my eyes and smoked it, maybe I would be thinking it's My Father, somewhere like that, because of just how the pepper started off. Which it's not intense, it's not bad, it's just, that's kind of like the first thing that popped into my head was the pepper. And then I got that woody note, which could be cedar, it could be whatever you want to call it, poplar, call it fucking white oak, whatever, I don't care. Whatever you think it smells like. But this cigar MSRP's for $21, right? MSRP is $21. Now, will you find them at $21? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you find them wherever you live or wherever you're at. Maybe they have these cigars for that price. I'm sure some people find them for like MSRP, right? They have to. But I bought this cigar for $80. And again, for the experience and stuff, I think is worth it. So far right now, how's it starting off? No, like it's not like, oh, great cigar. It's not going to knocks it out of the park for me right off the bat, but it's just starting. And I went online to check to see if like, hey, I want to see if you can find these online, because I've checked and it's rare, but you do see them pop up any now and then. And I do, the only websites that I found them on two. One of them was $96 and the other one was $85. So I thought, damn, even though I bought the cigar at $80 and it's like 4 times the price, it's not as much as some of the ones I'm finding online. Now, I have found some very reasonable Opus X's online. Like, they pop up out of nowhere, like a 4-finger pack and a 4-pack, and like, it's usually the Auto line, and that's lately what I've been seeing pop up. Not much of this Forbidden X. So it's interesting. Like, it's interesting how you can see these cigars pop up now and then. But the thing also about it is that if this cigar is $20, $21, but it's selling for 4 times that price, is it worth that, right? Is it worth that exaggerated price? I mean, for once at least, yeah. Like, for one, I don't mean for once it is worth it. I mean, as to try it out, yeah, I think so. I think it's always kind of worth it. I'll go ahead and keep smoking this down, and then I'll check in on the once I get into the second, third. So far, the ash does not feel like it's gonna hang on very much. Again, I'm smoking outside. It's windy, So all that plays a part. For those people that like are super into construction, they want to see the ash stay on, and they want to see the way the ash looks and how sturdy it is. You know, in my video, it's probably going to get messed up just because of the wind. Still getting the same cedar note. I'm getting a little bit of a different note now, but I can't pick up what it is, but I'm getting a little different flavor. It's good though, I like it. The new flavor, I like it. I kind of, right now, like in the back of my throat, I just tasted something like more peppery and a little bit of a different flavor. I'll check back in with you guys right now. All right guys, so I'm not into this. I'm not into second, third, but I wanted to show like a little update on it because the ash had fallen off. It was white, like kind of white, flaky ash. See, I try to pick it up, I can't pick it up. So again, I don't know. Again, I don't want to say that this is construction. Like, oh, the having like a really tight ash and the whole stack and dimes thing. I don't know if that is construction, good construction or not. I like how it looks. I think that's sick. The cigar that did that for me recently was the Roma Craft Sabertooth. Man, that cigar, it looked like legit layers of ash. Boom, boom, boom. And when it fell, I remember I picked it up and I like was holding it. It was quite a bit. But I also think your environment stuff causes how the ash is gonna flake off and how it's gonna hold up. And that ash fell down just because I think it's windy out here and like the cigar is getting mishandled, and I set it up and down and I move a lot, so it's getting a little bit more complex. Like the flavor is getting a little bit more complex to where I can't really pick up what it is. I'm not sure what it is. I don't have like the skill set to know like what type of tasting notes it is, but it is a good cigar. To me, is it tasting like a cigar that's blowing it out of the park? No, it's not. For me yet, right? It's barely starting a little bit, but this kind of reminds me of the Alec Bradley Fine and Rare that I just reviewed. I did an overview on, not review, but I still remember liking the first one I smoked a lot better because that one, the humidity and stuff was a lot better than the last one I smoked. But if I had a choice, right, to smoke something that I really wanted to smoke, and it was either the Sabertooth, Roma Craft Sabertooth, or this one, so far I would reach for the Sabertooth. It's just my preference, you know. Opus X is cool. I really like Opus X. I think it's such a cool brand. It's the rarity of it also makes it cool for me. The Andalusian Bull, I have to smoke that one again because I did not really like that cigar. I didn't really enjoy that cigar, and it was a bit of a disappointment because that cigar is one that I was looking forward to so much, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. But again, I think it was like the stress of everything. The cigar was blowing up in my hands, you guys. I deleted that overview because it was embarrassing. Now, because the weather's getting a little bit more like leveled out and getting back into kind of normal, the cigars aren't doing so bad. Because I used to just put them in a jar, grab them, put them in my Tupperware, grab them, and they were fine. But lately, I've been having that issue. I was having that issue with them being too moist, too over humidified, too dry, and it was because of the weather around here. But hey guys, like I had said, this is a cigar that it wasn't probably the best time to smoke it because of the wind and stuff, and it's a little bit later than I like to smoke out here, but you just have to find what you like to do with cigars, and they're not supposed to cause you more stress, right? And I don't like to make it sound like this is stressful because it's not. It's different than me having like my AirPods in or like watching a video, typing up some work, doing something that I enjoy, and then also having a good cigar there. This is different than that, right? So it's not as enjoyable because of that. It's still cool, and I try not to let the whole like overview thing affect that, but it does somewhat. I also think it's good when you have cigars that you know are gonna help you, or if you've been looking forward to. I've been having a bitch of a time at work. lately we've been trying to hire some more people, and it hasn't been working out too well, and it's just super stressful. But it is what it is. It's just how it goes. Super stressed out. So like, I remember thinking I want to smoke a good cigar. And what better cigar than the Opus X Forbidden X that I've been saving to smoke? And that's, you know, that's the one I chose for that reason. So now I'm picking up a little bit more of a creamy note, like a little bit of a creamy note on this cigar. And I don't know what that is, right? If somebody were to ask me, what do you mean by creamy? Normally, to me, it means something, to me, it's more of a texture thing with the smoke. But I also will get like a weird, when I exhale, when I exhale, I get like a taste or a smell that reminds me of like a creamy, what you would describe creamy. I don't know. It's just, it's weird. I read an article that Joe Knows put up on YouTube on his community tab. If you guys, I would recommend you guys, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I would say go read it. It's an article by Joe Knows, and he put up how he's able to pick up a lot of tasty notes that some people think aren't real or they think it's made up. And that's when you are really just focusing on the cigar. I will just know if a cigar is good or bad, whether I liked it or whether I didn't, whenever I am distracted. But when I'm focused and trying to do these overviews, and I'm like, okay, I kind of have to give people some type of note, I really pay attention, and things do click in your head. You know, they do click in your mind of like, well, oh, I did taste this, I did taste that. It's interesting how that works. If anybody's interested in that, like I said, I recommend go read that article, because it was a good one. It's a short little blog post, so it's not long. There's also another thing that I've noticed, and it's different for everybody, but I will sometimes be watching a video and it'll say a minty note, right? A minty note and the salty note. I have tasted those. I thought that I had tasted those. Right, on occasion, I always think, oh shit, I got like a little bit of a minty note in this cigar. But the times that I have gotten that, in the beginning, I used to be like, okay, cool. But recently, I noticed that when I get like a quote unquote minty note, it's always on the tip of my tongue, never towards the back of my mouth. Like when I retrohale, I don't get the minty, it's always on the tip of my tongue. And I realized that for me, right, this isn't like anybody who says minty note, this is what's happening. This is what's happening to me. It's that the smoke is hot, and it's when I'm drawing, pulling, and it's hitting my tongue straight on. And it's always towards like, because I got like a little bit of a minty note right now. And I think it's the smoke was just, the cigar's heating up and the smoke is hitting the tip of my tongue. And it's giving this like minty note. It's very strange. Doesn't mean it's like that for everybody. I've noticed the same thing with the salty note. Like, I've watched videos for like Matt from Cigar Hound Dog who says like, oh, this is a salty cigar. And I'm like, man, I wonder what that is. Yes, I'm getting more of a sweeter note now, like a little bit of a sweetness behind it, a little bit of a floral note. And that's pretty much it. The pepper has, for me right now, I'm into the second, third. And for me right now, the pepper has kind of completely died away. I'm not really getting much pepper, just right now I'm getting some sweetness, a little bit of cedar, and a little bit of like a leathery kind of taste. And for me, whenever I taste a sweetness, there's like the sweetness that I get afterwards, like as an aftertaste, which I attribute to like molasses. That's what I kind of think of, like a burnt kind of, like a burnt maple syrup kind of sweetness, but it's not sweet. It's like a tarry kind of sweetness. That sounds horrible, but it's not. I enjoy it. So if you could tell, the burn is a little bit messed up. And there is something that I like to do when it's like this. And the cigar, I don't feel like I could tell that the wrapper is not getting burned and the binder and filler getting burned underneath it. I will ash it and then I will relight it. And I don't want to do that for the overview because it's gonna screw up, like if it self-corrected and did that. But again, I want to enjoy this cigar. Like I said, I've been stressed at work and I wanted to smoke the cigar to kind of enjoy it. And so I have to do what I normally do. Hopefully nobody is upset about that. my boss got me this Saint DuPont lighter, and he just knows that I really like smoking cigars, so he got it for me. Unfortunately, because it's windy, I can't use it all the time, but I still have to use a torch. If you smoke outside, like, a torch is mandatory pretty much, because you get a little bit of wind and the flame starts going around and you start burning like the edges of your cigar. So all right, so I'm gonna continue to smoke this down, and then I'll check back in once I get a little bit farther down. So now I'm getting a weird, not weird, right, but it's a little bit different. Again, I've had this happen before with this tasting note, where I get this like a toasted marshmallow kind of note, because I'm getting a sweetness, and because of the burn, like I still taste the smoke. I still taste like the woody taste mixed with like that marshmallowy kind of taste. It's very subtle, but it's like a light marshmallowy type of sweetness. Very subtle, very light, but it is there. It's very enjoyable. Yeah. It's very good. Right now, it's actually getting very good. Very few cigars for me start to get better when they get this small. When you start getting into the last third, very few cigars start getting better for me. And this one here is getting better. The other cigar that does this for me almost every time, right? I've smoked a ton of these, so they're not all the same, but most of them get better for me the longer I get smoking them, and that's the My Father the Judge. It's a great cigar. I freaking love that cigar. And that one to me starts getting better and better and better. And then towards the end, it's always super enjoyable. And I'm always like trying to nub it, just smoking like the end, getting burning. My fingers are hot, but such a good cigar. And this one's getting better. Matt from Cigar Hound Dog has a saying for when a cigar gets better. And he calls it a crescendo cigar, because I believe it's building up and it's just starting to amp up and getting better towards the longer you're smoking it. And I like that saying, a crescendo cigar. I wouldn't call this a crescendo cigar, because I think to be a crescendo cigar, it has to start off really well and get better. And this one for me started off just mid-tier. For my taste, not too great, not anything special. So I'm gonna sit back, enjoy this, and then check back in one last time when I'm getting towards the end here. All right, so pretty much done with this Opus X Forbidden X. Pretty much almost down to the nub. I can do a little bit more, but it's actually, I got a little bit distracted, and I was just smoking, and earlier when I got up to turn on the camera, the nicotine getting to me a little bit, because I was like, whoa. This cigar is weird, right? Because towards the end, I had mentioned that it was getting like a lot better, and then it kind of leveled out, and then I lost that nice little sweetness that it had. It was only there for a short period. And now I am getting that bit of a hot smoke, and it gives it that like minty kind of taste, but all in all, it was a great cigar. It was a good cigar. Amazing? No. $80 worth? No. So like, do I recommend buying this cigar? I don't think I can recommend for somebody to go and if you could buy it MSRP, of course, buy it all day. But you will know what price you're willing to pay. You know, if you look at it, you always wonder, if you see it and you think, man, I would like to smoke that cigar one day. It is a little bit tricky, because here's one thing that Brian, the guy from my local B&M, told me. He's like, this is like a graduation cigar. This is a cigar you smoke when like your kid graduates, when, you know, when you get married or something. And as much as, because it's expensive, it's like a well-known cigar. It's a cool cigar. If I smoked it on my wedding day, I would probably be like, damn, I could have chosen a better one. again, a lot of this hobby is, if you're past the stage, like the beginning stage, like like where I'm at, and you know what you like, and you want to sit down and you buy boxes of cigars that you enjoy, and you want to smoke something that you know is going to be good because you smoked it 100 times, then that's cool, right? I don't see people like that wanting to try new cigars like this just because they're available and they've been, you know, they have this prestige to them. So, well, for me, right? For me, they have like a level of prestige. So that's why I think buying them to try them is worth it, or else you would never know. I would probably buy it again and try it again just because I do believe that, like I've mentioned, you got to smoke a cigar a few times to kind of see whether you really like it or not. So it's a good cigar, but when I think like almost $100 after taxes, like close to $100, it's like I don't know if it's something that I would be, you know, spending money on like that. But yeah, it was a good cigar. Opus X Forbidden X Deseos de Amor. That's pretty much it, you guys. So please comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think. Have you ever smoked this? Who smoked this and loved it? Who smoked it and was really let down? Who really wants to try it? You know, I'm curious to see how many people actually have smoked it and what they thought. Who thinks the $80 price tag is worth it? And that's it. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll catch you on the next one.